Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are now going to move on to the A string and basically repeat the whole process. You're going to go BEAD for a little bit and then GCF for a little bit, and but it's just going to be on the A string, and then you're going to combine them together. And just like before, when you're just practicing BEAD or GCF on their own, you're going to want to have an actual play with the drum track, not the full track, because the bass goes BEAD and then GCF. The other thing we're going to go over is we're going to introduce you to mixing the two E string and A string power chords, going through the BEAD GCF, and it's pretty easy actually. So the next part will be a little bit more difficult, but this part you'll be able to handle. So you're going to do the same old thing as you did before. You're going to find BEAD on the A string. So we got our B at the 2nd fret on the A string. E is up at the 7th fret. And then A, you can play your open A, which I kind of like normally do. I do an A5 chord when I do the power chords. Or you can play up here at the 12th fret. It's totally up to you. But we have B, E, A, and then finally we go to D. And that's at the 5th fret. And then you're just going to keep repeating it. B, E, A, D. B, E, A, D, B, and then, oh, no, not GCF yet. And you just kind of repeat that. It's the same exact thing as the, we did on the E string. And again, you're going to do your GCF. You're going to keep repeating that over and over again. And then finally, what you're going to do is you're going to now go ahead and go through the whole thing. Now, just like you did with the last one, and all these in general, you want to make sure that don't worry about the track. Just do it without the track at first. Just kind of get familiar with everything. So again, you start out first just finding these. B, okay, E. Here's an example of our A up at the 12th fret, D, and then we got to add in the G, C, and our F. And that's what you're going to do. Let's take a look. So kind of try to remember certain things. Like the B is pretty easy to remember. That's over there. If something strikes you, helps you memorize something, then just use it. Up here, it's at the 7th fret. Nothing special there, but you can try to start remembering that. And then right here is something that you could probably remember. The A, you're going to know the A is either here at the 12th fret or the open. D, again, that's something, if you know what a C is, maybe you'll be able to quickly find the D. G, you can think of, oh, okay, here we go. This one is just one step down from the 12th fret. So that's something that you could hang on to, help you remember anything, remember something. C, that's right next to B, so you could use that. And then F, it's kind of up here. So if you memorize where E is, then F will be easy. So it's kind of like the easy ones to remember might be, you want to memorize B, and C is pretty easy. Open A, or the A at the 12th fret is pretty easy. And then G, that's a whole step down from our A. So there's little things that can help you out with memorizing some of the notes, so you don't have to keep counting up. And but after you go through it a few times, you're going to start to get the hang of it anyways. And then again, Once you got that, go ahead, stick on the track very slowly, and then just start working your way through it. Plays it like 3 times all the way through. B, G, C, F, and then B, G, C, F, B, G, C, F. I think it goes through that 3 times. And then you can also set it on a loop, so it'll start over again and keep playing through. So that's what I want you to do in this part, is now work on that on the A string. And then finally in this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to start to mix these two. Make sure you got this A string thing down pretty good though, and keep practicing the E string also, so you can practice both of them separately, and just make sure you got a pretty good handle on it. You don't have to have perfect before you move on, but a big handle on it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix them together. So what we got here, we start with our B, but we're going to do something different. We're on an E string. We're not going to go to our next note on the E string. We're going to go to our note on the A string. So we have to find that E. So this is going to kind of help you with memorizing a little bit also. So the E on the A string is actually located, boom, right directly below the B. So you got the B on the E string, the E on the A string. So that's pretty easy. Now we're looking for what? A. So and that's going to, because we're going to keep rotating between the E string, A string, E string, A string. So now we got to find our E, I mean our A on the E string, and that happens to be down one whole step from B. So you got A at the 5th fret now, and then we have BA. Now we have to find D. So guess what? D is right below it. So let's go back again. So we got B, E, A, D, and guess what? Guess where the G and C is? You're gonna go, we gotta find G on the E string, right there at the 3rd fret. So down a whole step from A, and then where do you think C is? Right below that. And then finally what we're gonna do is F is the last one, and that's down a whole step from the G. So here we go. Here's B, directly down to E. Here's A, directly down to D. Here's G, directly down to C. And finally F. And then that's all you're going to do. You're just going to keep repeating that over and over again. So, so then you can get that down. And then what I would do in the meantime, before we move to the next lesson, is practice all of them. Go through the E a little bit, GCF, BEAD GCF on the E string a little bit. Go through BEAD GCF on the A a little bit, and then finally do this one where you're mixing back and forth between them. And the next one might be a little bit more challenging, but get this solid, and then we'll move on to the next one. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I guess we're done with this one, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, we'll see you there.